Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here with another Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle. This time we're playing a Twitch subscriber of mine, Kanye. Now looking at his team, it's pretty weak to my support, or excuse me, my offensive, not support, Arceus Rock. Arceus Rock does have Fire Blast for Lucario. I do run a bit of speed. It only needs a little bit of damage off on Groudon to win. It can beat Yveltal. It can 1v1 Palkia if it's boosted enough. And it definitely beats Lunala. So the game plan is weaken his team to the point where he cannot switch into my Arceus Rock. When Arceus Rock is out versus a Pokemon, Arceus Rock gets a kill, potentially leading for a Scarf Lunala sweep on my side or an SD Lucario sweep. Now, he leads off with Arceus, I lead off with Ho-Oh. I lead off with Ho-Oh because Yveltal is a very scary Pokemon for this team to face. Same with Lunala, so I figured Ho-Oh is a great lead to scout, figure out what it is. Thank God the game told me that this was Arceus Water and not Arceus Ice. I was under the impression it was Arceus Ice, and I was about to Sacred Fire and Arceus Water, turn 1, and get Toxic. So, gonna switch out into my Giratina on the Toxic. Unfortunately, I am Toxic, but I do throw off a Toxic of my own. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting him to stay in with Arceus. I thought he would go Yveltal or Groudon. I wanted to wear them down. In Groudon's case, landing Toxic does wear it down for boosted Arceus Rock, but he does allow me to hit his Arceus Water, which means I can hit him with a Hex in the next turn. I know that I can survive the next Ice Beam. Unfortunately, though, he does crit me, so my Giratina is going to go down. That is my Defogger. However, I'm under the impression because he does have Ice Beam Toxic, his last moves are Recover and Defog. So this is a Defogger. So that's good for my Lucario in the back. However, I don't want to risk him having Judgment. And because he is on a timer with that Toxic, I know that I can go out to my Groudon, hit him with Oppressive's Blades, and pretty much wear him down to the point that he's either going to stay in and die or switch out, allowing me to get up rocks. So we're going to throw off Oppressive's Blades. I knew that by going out to Groudon, he would throw off a Toxic. Since Arceus Water is supposed to beat Groudon 1v1, of course, this is assuming that Arceus Water isn't Toxic, but we'll throw off Oppressive's Blades right here. Oppressive's Blades, wow, I just messed up that word completely. We'll throw off Oppressive's Blades as Toxic is really wearing down the Arceus. And what I can do right here is actually go for my Stealth Rock, expecting him to recover. I didn't want to go for another Oppressive's Blades at that point because I want Rocks up since he does have Lunala. I want to be able to break that Shadow Shield as well as weaken the Yveltal since I don't know what type of Yveltal it is. It could be defensive, it could be offensive, and if it is defensive, getting up Stealth Rock is really good for Lucario in the back. So we're going to get our Stealth Rock here as he does go for Recover. However, at this point, if he does go for Defog, he's on 2 more turns of Poison, so I actually decided to throw up my Stealth Rock again, because if he did want to go for Defog, I want these rocks up. I want Lunala's Shadow Shield broken. I want Yveltal taking damage. I want Palkia taking damage to the point that Bandit Ho-Oh always knocks it out after Stealth Rock. So I'll go for my Stealth Rock again as he does switch out to Yveltal, which is fine. I don't know what type of Yveltal this is. I don't see an item. It could be Rocky Helmet, it could be Charty Berry, it could be Life Orb, Black Glasses, Specs. It could be so many things. I decided to go up to my Ho-Oh though because no rocks are up. Ho-Oh is very bulky. He can take on the special variant for days. He does throw off an Oblivion Wing, which is Life Orb. You probably can't tell because that damage does absolutely nothing. That damage did 4. Okay, obviously it did more than 4, but that's 4 in my mind. So I bring in my Ho-Oh, and I figure out he is offensive Life Orb. I decide to throw off a Sacred Fire just because if Palkia wants to come in, I could potentially burn it and wear it down. If his Yveltal did have knockoff, I could tank one and then burn him with Sacred Fire. It also just does a ton of damage. I mean, Sacred Fire from a Ho-Oh, and I am Choice Band. Though I'm a pretty bulky Choice Band Ho-Oh. He does bring out his Primal Groudon, which is a very good play because I did obviously go for the Sacred Fire right there. But that is a 3 KO, and because the game plan is make it so Arceus Rock has no switch-ins, not necessarily sweep with Arceus Rock, but make it so it has no switch-ins, I decided to stay in here and go for another Sacred Fire, just in case he wanted to go for his Stealth Rock. I didn't care if he went for Stone Edge at that point, but he does go for Lava Plume, more than likely predicting me to want to bring out what I'm assuming he thinks is a support Arceus, so he maybe thinks I'm Arceus Water, and he was trying to burn me right there, but like I said, Sacred Fire is a 3 KO. We're going to go for another one as we are able to land it on the incoming Arceus. It's just out of range, though, of Poison. Just out of range of Poison. So, again, because I do want Stealth Rock up no matter what, since Lunala does have that Shadow Shield. For those of you that don't know how Shadow Shield works, basically it weakens moves. It's like multi-scale on Dragonite, so as long as you're at full HP, you're taking less damage. So I want the Stealth Rock up. I want to be able to break that Shadow Shield, meaning that Lucario could potentially go ham later, or even Lunala can knock it out with my own Scarf Lunala can knock it out with Moongeist Beam. So throws off a Recover. I expect him to actually go for another Recover right here, not a Defog immediately. because I know, I'm pretty positive, you run Arceus Water if you want Defog. Arceus Water is one of the best defoggers. It Toxic Groudon, it beats a 1v1 with Toxic and Recover and defogs away. So I decided to throw off another Precipice Blades, expecting to recover right here just to wear him down with the poison damage. And at this point, since poison is starting to rack up, and I'm assuming he's thinking, I might not know he doesn't have defog, or I might not know he has defog, I actually decided to go for Stealth Rock right here as he does reveal the defog, and I get my rocks right back up as he blows them away, so it doesn't matter. I actually had Rock Tomb on this Groudon, but I think it's better not to be slower than Arceus, that way he can't get off a last-ditch effort defog. And Arceus is down to one more turn of poison. I don't care if he recovered right here, I really don't. I want rocks up. I'm very adamant about these rocks. My Groudon's actually adamant as well, but yeah, he's going to go for another defog, and again, my rocks are going to stay up, and Arceus Water is gone. Now, I could have used this Arceus Water as setup fodder for Lucario, definitely, since he was Ice Beam, Defog, Toxic, and Recover. However, if it's Scarf Lunala, there really isn't much of a point, as I would need a lot of boost to knock it out with Bullet Punch. So, my Groudon is at 11%, which means he can bring out his Lucario and Revenge Kill me with either Close Combat or the Bullet Punch. It's actually smart that he decided to Mega Evolve and go for the Bullet Punch over Close Combat, because the roll of Moongeist Beam is 100% after defense drop on Lucario, so I could have went out to Lunala after and just picked off a kill there. Even Yveltal being weakened with Stealth Rock wouldn't appreciate a modest Moongeist Beam from Scarf Lunala, so he's able to knock me out with the Bullet Punch. He definitely couldn't SD in front of a Groudon, which is why I stayed in. I'm going to go out to my Ho-Oh, which is a bit of a risk. He could have Stone Edge, but a lot of them don't pack Stone Edge, especially because Zygarde Complete is obviously in Ubers and pretty common at this point. So a lot of them run Swords Dance, Iron Tail, Close Combat, Bullet Punch, or Ice Punch as one of the attacks. I think all the 4 attack ones can run Stone Edge though. It's definitely a good lure for Ho, but I had to risk it since I didn't really want to go out to my Arceus Rock just yet and go for Fire Blast. So I got to Ho, go for a Brave Bird because it does knock out Lucario, also knocks out Groudon, would knock out Yveltal, knocks out Palkia. And the great thing about this Ho is I'm so Spadef that I have a really good chance of living a Hydro Pump from Palkia, even if it's Lustrous Orb. So he does throw off that Hydro Pump after Stealth Rock. Banded Brave Bird is a 100% KO on Palkia, so I'm able to survive that. Gonna knock him out with one of the cleanest animations in the game. Brave Bird, Palkia goes down, and Arceus Rock is looking so nice. I talked about it earlier at Team Preview. I wanted to make it so Arceus Rock, whenever it comes out, it gets a kill. Not necessarily sweep him, but he has no switching. So he brings out Yveltal, which is great because Arceus Rock can knock it out with Judgment, and even if he switched at that point with Stealth Rock, he couldn't take 2 Moongeist Beams if it came back in, so we'll throw off a Judgment. I understand him staying in and not going hard Lucario, because I definitely could have had Will-O-Wisp on this Arceus Rock. That's something he could have seen, and what I was thinking was he can go route to Lucario, outspeed me and knock me out with Close Combat, but no, this Arceus Rock was designed to beat Lucario 1v1. I do have enough speed for it. I do have enough special attack to Oko with the Fire Blast, and Lucario is going to go down. Now his last is his Lunala. I don't know if it's Scarf, Specs, Life Orb, Z Hypnosis. I decided to go for Calm Mind here because if he's Scarf, a Calm Mind boosted Judgment would put him in range of Bullet Punch from my Lucario on the back, as well as the fact that I do have my own Scarf Lunala, which though it does have a chance to go down to Moongeist Beam even through Shadow Shield, it's like, I think the max roll is 104, so I have a good chance to live it anyway. Plus he has to win a speed tie and get the roll, so I decided to go for Calm Mind here because even if he was boosted or Life Orb, I could put him in range of Bullet Punch after. Though I guess I did risk a crit. It would need to be a high roll crit to be able to knock me out. Well, I guess at that point he could have knocked me out with a crit, but I thought if he was Z Hypnosis, this was the better play, because not only does he have to land Hypnosis, I get off Judgment damage to the point where Lucario knocks him out. Plus I had, again, Lunala in the back anyway to potentially revenge kill. So I'm going to be able to put him in range of Bullet Punch with that next Judgment. Arceus Rock, again, the whole game plan was whenever it came out, it got kills, or he had no switchings for it, which he obviously couldn't do. So now I can go route to my Mega Lucario. At that range of HP, it is definitely in range of the Bullet Punch from Adaptability Mega Lucario. I love using this Monomaneuvers. It got so good too with the Mega buff that they just get their speed automatically in. I can just knock them out with the Bullet Punch, and that will be a good game. So definitely a good game, Brendan. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I want to give a big shout out to my buddy Oliver who passed me the battle data for this video. I definitely couldn't have got it done without him. Also, feel free, of course, to subscribe, leave a like if you enjoyed, and also feel free to leave Pokemon down below that you want me to use on Wi-Fi. Always taking suggestions. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, friends.